All right, and we've been talking about Louisiana's congressional delegation sending their thoughts and prayers to the people who were affected. Congressman Troy Carter represents the 2nd District here in Louisiana, and that's much of the West Bank area that was hit by this tornado yesterday. It went through, Harvey, Marrero, Gretna, and then into Algiers, and the damage was extensive. The State Representative Delisha Boyd had sent us some pictures of some of the damage in Algiers, and it hit both those parishes hard. Congressman?
Yes, Eric, how are you? Yeah, it's devastating. We have at least one fatality in St. Charles Parish. Yeah. We've had devastation throughout the district. State Representative Delisha Boyd and members of my staff did a drive-through last night to assess damage throughout the district, and it's heartbreaking. I've been in communication with the Governor's Office of Homeland Security, the Governor, to assess damages and to make ready any federal resources that may be needed during this time. The SBA will be doing a walkthrough today with members of my staff to likewise do some assessments to report back. We encourage everyone to please stay home if possible. Avoid being on the streets. There are a lot of damage that's still out there. There are wires that have fallen. Do not assume that they're dead. In fact, assume that they're alive and take the maximum precaution. We are monitoring this very closely from Washington. As you know, we're trying to desperately pass the budget to keep the government going in these last few days of 2022. But we're monitoring this very closely to make sure that all available resources can be deployed.
Yeah, and we're showing some pictures from Algiers right now, and the damage from the tornado, it ripped through a big part of your district. And have you been in touch with the Biden administration? I mean, will there'll be more federal help than just the SBA coming?
Well, the SBA is just on the ground as the first boots on the ground to do assessment. The reality is the way the mechanisms work, the governor has to request a declaration, and then the White House reacts to that. And yes, I have been in contact with the White House, and we are ready to respond to the governor's request. To my knowledge at this point, that hasn't come in yet, but the federal government stands ready to provide any needed assistance. I mean, these natural disasters are not taken lightly, and I applaud the White House for acting rapidly, and I applaud the governor's office for acting rapidly. We await the level of assessment to determine which mechanisms are pulled, but we're in constant communication with the governor's office now.
Yeah, and this is one of those times when you see the Louisiana delegation will be in lockstep on something like this.
We have always been in lockstep with natural disasters, Republican, Democrat, or other. We may have our differences on policy issues, but when it comes to Louisiana, I am proud to say that the members of our delegation, particularly when it comes to natural disasters, are 100% on the same page with fighting for the people of Louisiana.
Okay, and quickly before we let you go, there will be a measure passed to avoid a government shutdown, correct?
That is my prayer. We worked very late last night. We'll be working long today with hopes that we will be able to avoid a shutdown. That is certainly what we're working toward. Unfortunately, some have different ideas on that, and we are ferreting through to try to convince them that the American people expect us to keep the lights on and keep government moving and to not allow politics to get in the way. So we'll keep our fingers crossed, and we'll be grinding to make sure that we don't have a shutdown.
All right, Congressman, thank you. We appreciate you calling in this morning.
Certainly. Thank you.